Ukrainian troops continue striking Russia's energy facilities in an effort to undermine Moscow's war efforts. On the night leading to September 25, fighters of the 14th UAV Battalion of the Forces of Unmanned Systems launched series of strikes on gas distribution stations in Ukraine's eastern Luhansk region. As a result of the strike, the power plant of Shchastia gas distribution station, which is the main source of gas for the Russian-held region, was forced to switch to coal operation mode. Severodonetsk gas distribution center was also targeted by Ukrainian drone operators. The center is critically important for Russia's chemical industry, supplying gas to the Sievierodonetsk Azot plant and beyond. Ukraine's drone attacks on Russian facilities are not only confined to Ukraine's territory. Ukrainian also launches drone and missile attacks deep in Russian territory. Earlier, on Wednesday, Ukrainian troops struck 2 oil pumping stations in Russia's southern Volgograd region, as well as a drone production facility in the village of Valuyki in Belgorod region bordering Ukraine. The attacks come amid Ukraine's counteroffensive against Russia's relentless attacks on eastern Donetsk region, as well as the deadlock in the peace talks to end the war that is already in its 4th year. Ukrainian troops have attacked 2 Russian energy facilities supplying the Russian army in Volgograd region as well as drone production sites in Belgorod region, local media reported on Wednesday, citing the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Fire erupted at the Kuzmiki, 1 oil pumping station, part of the crude oil transport system to Russia's southern regions. Ukrainian forces also targeted the Zenzavatka oil pumping station, which feeds the Kuibyshev-Tykharetsk main pipeline. In a separate attack overnight, Ukrainian units targeted a drone production facility in the village of Valuyki, Belgorod region, aiming to disrupt drone manufacturing and reduce Russia's combat capabilities. Initial reports indicate the plant was hit and a fire broke out. The scale of the damage is still being assessed. The General Staff also confirmed the destruction of the ELU-AVT-6 primary oil processing unit at the Gazprom Neftekhim Salavat refinery in Bashkortostan, where a fire is still burning. The General Staff also confirmed the Ukrainian attack on Astrakhan gas processing plant in Astrakhan region with long-range Ukrainian weapons on September 22. The attack damaged the production facilities and partially shut down operations. The facility is one of the world's largest gas chemical complexes and Russia's leading producer of sulfur for explosives, responsible for up to 66% of national output. The plant processes up to 3.2 million tons of oil products annually. Ukrainian in recent months has scaled up aerial strikes on strategic facilities deep in Russia to undermine Moscow's war efforts. The Russian army has struck the Ukrainian military's Honcharivsk training ground in northern Chernihiv region. Footage taken by a drone was shared on Russian military telegram channels. As a result of strikes carried out with Iskander missile systems and Garin drones, several explosions occurred on the training ground, including at a warehouse where drones were stored, a soldier's shelter, and tents where troops were stationed. According to Ukrainian reports, since the strikes hit areas where soldiers were present, there were casualties among the personnel. No information has been provided regarding the number of losses. A critical situation has developed at the border between Russia and Kazakhstan. Over 7,000 trucks carrying goods from China and Europe have been stuck in the neutral zone for more than 3 weeks. According to media reports, the trucks are carrying electronics, clothing, footwear, tableware, fabrics, and groceries. Certain shipments are particularly valuable to businesses. About 10 trucks are loaded with board games, including Monopoly, Mafia, and Dungeons and Dragons. According to carriers, they contain at least 25,000 sets ordered by hobbyists and companies specializing in board game sales. The shipping cost of one such shipment reaches $70,000, not including the cost of the cargo itself. Drivers are forced to live in harsh conditions for weeks, without adequate access to drinking water, food, or sanitary facilities. Many report that they can't even leave their vehicles for fear of theft or damage to their cargo. The situation is devastating businesses. Entrepreneurs are suffering colossal losses due to contract disruptions and delayed deliveries to retail outlets and pickup points. Moscow markets are already experiencing shortages of certain goods, and some companies are reporting sales suspensions. The Kazakh Ministry of Transport, together with the Border Service, stated that the main reason for the collapse was Russia's tightened controls. Vehicle inspection times were increased, and additional document checks and sanitary and phytosanitary standards were introduced. This significantly slowed the border crossing process and led to kilometers-long queues. The agency also conducted an inspection of the checkpoint infrastructure, noting that the overcrowded areas and buildings used for servicing citizens and employees were unable to cope with the influx of traffic. Previously, there were reports of 5,000 stranded trucks, but the situation continues to worsen. In recent days, the number of vehicles has grown to 7,000, and the prospect of a quick resolution to the problem remains unclear. So, multi-kilometer truck lines have formed at 3 customs checkpoints on the Kazakhstan-Russia border. The Russian outlet Business FM highlighted the problem after a businessman reported that queues at the crossings could last up to a week. While inspections once took 10 to 15 minutes per truck, vehicles are now idle for hours. Rumors in the line suggest the Russian side is testing a new entry system requiring foreign drivers to obtain a Russian ID through Gosuslugi and give 72 hours notice before arrival. On the Kazakh side, drivers believe authorities are tightening cargo checks, particularly for Chinese dual-use goods.